Yay! Choose
And
greatness.
yeah, okay.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm going to stay on mute and then let you know if questions come in along the way, but it's over to you.
Fantastic. Okay. So good morning, everybody. I am the proud principal of Way Park School here in Cleveland, Ohio. Every year, our team comes up with a new theme for the school year. So last year was Together, we're creating magical learning moments. So our teachers kind of rallied around that. So really every year we do a different theme. Our theme for this school year is Choose Greatness. Our staff and our students have already embraced this theme. Today, my session will focus on really, how are we leading? How is my team? How are my teachers' team? How are we leading this digital learning experience? So definitely will walk you through a couple different things. You will see many of my amazing scholars, like one that's highlighted on this first screen. This is one of our second grade scholars, Renaya. So definitely we'll share some of her story throughout this presentation. Some of the things that I will focus on as we lead this amazing work and this, I guess, new normal, we'll focus around attitude, support, communication. How can we create some level of normalcy, have a normal sort of school for students, even in virtual, and just how do we celebrate our staff? How do we celebrate our students? So the first section just is attitude, and that's something that we stressed early on. Here in Ohio, our students were sent home middle of March. So our scholars have been home with their families doing this virtual learning really since March. So, when our team came together to plan and strategize, attitude definitely is something that we continue to stress. Having a positive attitude, leading with our heart, understanding that our families, on a normal day are facing a variety of challenges, and just making sure that, like I said, we're leading with our heart, we're having a caring attitude, we're being patient, we're being flexible. Yes, we're still holding our students accountable, but we are being patient to the fact of our families, our staff, we're all dealing with a whole variety of things. This is not easy work. Definitely the next one, make sure that we're creating a safe space so that, our staff can be transparent enough to say, something, I just don't know how to do it. Can you assist me? Creating a safe space with our team members so that when our teacher leads are leading their grade level meetings, that teachers feel comfortable. They feel that they can be transparent enough, and that this is a safe space where you can make mistakes. We do different check-ins each week, not just with students, but with staff, just to see how they're doing, what are they struggling with. Every Wednesday is our professional development day. So on that day, teachers do have some times where they can do some one-on-one and small groups with students in the morning. They have some time to plan, and then they end their day with professional development. So one of our recent sessions was, helping staff deal with stress and helping staff members, just cope with, juggling all of the different tasks of learning a new management system. On top of that, this school year, we rolled out a new curriculum for reading and math on top of everything else. So definitely, we've continued to have, some formal and informal check-ins with staff just to make sure that they're doing okay, and if they need some support, that we're able to immediately provide that support. The last thing on here under this category is a just because. So just doing some just because tokens. We've done some mailing things out to our staff and students. We've done some pop-ups at some of our staff members' houses, and I'm going to show you a short clip of one of our surprise pop-ups at some of our staff members. So this was this did take some coordination with family members just to make sure they were home. Two of the family members that we went to, they thought that we were coming by for them to sign a card for someone else. But this was one of our surprise pop-ups that we did a couple weeks ago at some of our staff members' house, just to show them that, you know, we appreciate them. We know that they're working, you know, a whole lot of hours right now. And, you know, we really just appreciate everything they're doing. Definitely, you know, recognition is proven as among the best method of improving work motivation and employee engagement. So for us, that is something that we continue to do. The next category is support. And, you know, for our staff, you know, one thing that we started early on was, you know, having them do initial survey so that, you know, for our weekly professional development sessions, it was something that was targeted, that was something that would be beneficial for them. So, you know, each week we provide, like last week we just rolled out an initiative with Verizon. So we've continued to have some trainings for our middle school teachers with how to use the iPads, how to teach with the iPads. So last week we had some choice sessions where they were able to sign up with Apple for some targeted support. And then our other teachers had some targeted support with the new reading and math curriculum that we just rolled out. Another thing that we've done that we continue to do is allow our teacher leads to provide professional development. So last week's session was led solely by our teachers. You know, research continues to show just, by having one of their peers lead it, you know, you get better buy-in. So that's something that we continue to do. With our scholars, we really, and which kind of leads us into, you know, one of our next sessions, we've tried to keep our normal routine that we would do if students were in school. So, you know, when students are in school here at Way Park, you know, we have morning meetings, we have class meetings. So with virtual, every morning, every class starts with their morning meeting, class meeting, really just to set the tone for the day, to review expectations, to see how students are doing. We also have one-on-one sessions with students. So students, you know, every student in the building, you know, has my number. They know how to find me. Some reach out on social media. You know, some call the school, email. So we have different ways for students to reach out for support. As we talked about previously, just being flexible, you know, allowing students to have, you know, multiple opportunities to submit assignments if they don't get it the first time. Definitely, we do a lot of SEL. So every Tuesday and Thursday, students have their class meetings. Then they go into Paths, is our SEL for K through 5, and for 6 through 8, we use Second Step. So definitely having, you know, students experience stress, and definitely right now with us not being in traditional school, just making sure that we are, you know, providing some strategies to help students cope with, you know, everything that they're dealing with. And the last thing on here is student workshops. We offer a variety of student workshops. So one workshop that we recently had for our middle school scholars, we had some issues with some of the apps, some of the programs on the iPads for our middle school scholars. It was blocking some functions. So, we called, we set up a session with the students. We had them on with their families, and our Verizon technology coach walked the students through exactly how to use the devices. So, that was definitely beneficial for the students. And then we recorded it and posted it so that the teachers could follow up. The next category is communicate. How do we communicate in this virtual digital space? So definitely clearly and frequently is something that we continue to stress. We really try to be consistent with how we communicate with our scholars, with our families, with our stakeholders. So our families know that every Sunday, really between that 7 to 8:30 time frame, they get a call from I call them, I give them updates for the week. They also get an email with all the flyers, activities, upcoming events, so that they're able to organize themselves accordingly. On social media, we post updates really sometimes a couple times a day, but definitely a couple times a week on our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter, really just to keep them involved. U.S. Postal Mail Service, we've been mailing out, different incentives, virtual expectations. One teacher recently got a Donors Choose project funded, so we mailed home books to students. We have parent workshops, and our LMS, our learning management system, is Schoology, and then we also use Seesaw. So really just, we push out alerts, updates on Schoology, where every student and family member, when they log into the parent portal, they're able to see that. And then with staff, obviously, we use the same kind of mediums for that, but we also have a weekly bulletin that goes out every Sunday by 12 p.m. so that staff knows, what's going on for the week. Creating the sense of normalcy. So one thing that we do here when students are in the building is we have a monthly birthday celebration. Our students know that the first Thursday of every month is our birthday celebration, where they get a token and they get a cupcake. So we initially thought about, well, how can we mail cupcakes to mail home cupcakes? That was going to be a little challenging. So we do mail home personalized birthday cards. We kind of stagger it so they arrive, a day or two before their birthday. We post birthday shout outs on social media, so a lot of our students chime in, when they see their name for the birthday shout out. We also do student of the week. So that's one of the Star Eagles. So students do look for their names, and when they get their Star Eagle Award, they do get a letter, a certificate. Some of our community partners have been chipping in gift cards to celebrate those scholars. This picture here on the right, this is Alfonso, one of our amazing scholars, and this is we did a surprise pop-up at his house to personally hand him his award and gift card, and this is kind of his face, just like, oh my goodness, they're all at my house. And so we came with some of our student ambassadors and myself. Some other events that we've done, just to kind of, once again, to keep this sense of normalcy, we've done a couple community bike rides with students and families. Cleveland Police is a huge supporter of our scholars, so they're always willing to step up and ride with our scholars. We recently had a bike ride, and at one of the pit stops, we had some balls, and they played kickball with the kids. We did a community planting day, beautification day, where the Cleveland Police also helped with that. There was a big art mural, street mural, so we took students out to that. Students painted their own pictures that they also brought. So once again, just really just trying to keep some sense of normalcy to keep students engaged, involved, not only in their school, but in their community. So, I don't have time to talk about all of these things, but these are just some of the things that we have been doing in terms of, like I said, community projects. We have a great program with the Cleveland Orchestra, so we are still providing lessons to students via Zoom with the musicians. we have a Spirit Week next week. That's going to be a huge hit with our scholars, and we're gearing up. We're gearing up for that. We had a couple teachers that have hosted birthday celebrations via Zoom. So, really just creating a sense of normalcy. Finding ways to celebrate our scholars. A lot of the different things that we were able to do, when students were here at school, we're finding ways to do it, while they're still in this virtual space. All of our scholars, pre-K through 8th grade, which is about 600 scholars, are all virtual. So, yes, does it take more work? Does it take more planning? Absolutely. But our biggest, our biggest goal at the end of the day is just to make sure that our scholars, feel that they are still part of our Way Park community, that we are, recognizing their efforts. So these, like I said, these are just some of the things that we are doing to celebrate our scholars. This is one of our 2nd grade scholars, Giorgio. This is one of his favorite shirts. It wasn't me. He is a bright scholar. This is and he's one that we've had some multiple conversations with in terms of just really keeping him engaged and involved. He's one that loves to play and get into different things in the building while he's here. So this has just been one that, a picture I keep in my office, really just to center me, to make sure that, we're focused on the important thing. And the important thing is a scholar like a Giorgio that, he is eager to learn, amazing scholar that's eager to learn and ready to take over this world. So this is definitely one of the pictures that I keep close to me. So we talked about attitude, keeping a positive attitude. We talked about how do we support teachers, how do we support scholars, how do we support families. One thing that we've continued to do, which I believe I mentioned, but we continue to do, is offer parent workshops. So I know this week we had a parent meeting. We've recently been able to hire through our Say Yes program here in Cleveland a family support specialist that looks for resources in the community just to keep our families involved, engaged in school. But they also provide legal services. And they provide resources with, if a family's having issues with food. So, those are all the different, types of supports that we're providing. Communication, making sure that we are communicating frequently and clearly so that parents, are able to, juggle all of their different family responsibilities, but they are able to, okay, well, I think something's going on this week. Oh, okay, I know I can check my email. So, they know that every Sunday they get an email. They don't want to go through all that. They know they can log on to their social media account. And, like I said, we constantly post updates. And really, with all of our family engagement sessions, we post a presentation, we post a video, and we have a contact link on there so that parents know exactly who to contact after the session is over. So if parents are not able to view or attend the live session, they know that we have it posted and they can go back and view it at any time. Definitely creating a sense of normalcy, as we just spoke about. As I mentioned, we've really worked really hard, the team, to keep a lot of the different programs and initiatives that we had in place prior to COVID. And then, like I said, we celebrate our scholars, all the time when they're in school. So that has been something that we've tried to do during virtual learning. So definitely with student engagement. This has not been something I've focused on a lot during this presentation thus far. But for us, we really looked to make sure we had, these 5 things: attitude, a positive attitude, supports in place, a communication plan in place, be able to create a sense of normalcy, and us being able to celebrate our scholars first, because if our students, as research will continue to tell you, if the research shows that students do not know or don't see that you care, they're not going to come to class. They're not going to put effort at all. And definitely right now with our virtual learning, students don't have to go to class. We want them to go to class, but the way that the district has it set up here in Cleveland, students are able to go back in the evenings and watch the lessons and submit their assignments. So for us, we have worked really hard to make sure that we are offering an engagement, an engaging platform where students want to come to class. They're on time for class, ready to roll, so that they can get their lessons to move forward. So once we got these 5 things in place, then we met with our teachers to talk about, well, okay, we have a new learning management platform coming out. How can we make sure that you're able to navigate this platform successfully? Then how can we make sure that students know how to log in? So we do use Clever here in Cleveland. So once students log in, it's a one-click for them moving forward. So all of the different learning apps that they use are all in one place for them, and like I said, it's just a one-click. Making sure obviously there's academic rigor. So yes, even though students are learning from their homes, we definitely want to make sure that the Ohio learning standards are getting covered, that there is rigor in their lessons, that teachers are taking the time to plan thoughtfully for the lesson, and that we are providing targeted support. So we do have enrichment, and we also have remediation sessions that take place throughout the day. So some of our enrichment sessions that we have partnered with the Center for Arts and Inspired Learning. So we offer dance and theater. We have a puppet class. So students do have a variety variety of enrichment classes that they can sign up for. They're not mandatory, but I mean, we always have a waiting list. And then students that need a little bit more support, we have set up times throughout the week, and then definitely on Wednesday mornings when it's more of their asynchronous time, so that students can receive support. And then if they're not selected by their teachers for support, students are able to reach out to their teachers. Definitely all the kids have my number, so I get texts and calls and FaceTime stuff all the time from them, like, look, I need some support with this and this. So definitely making sure with all these different things put in place, which is not perfect, it's definitely a work in progress. Our ultimate goal is to make sure that students are engaged and that joyful learning is taking place in every classroom. As we initially spoke about, and we kind of started this presentation with Renaya, who I mentioned is one of our second grade scholars. It's definitely, like as I mentioned, definitely important that we are keeping the main thing the main thing. So when we reach out to students, just to kind of do our check-ins, and we just how are you doing, how are things going, what are some supports, what do you miss, what do you miss more. And Renaya is one. She recently got an iPad from her family, so she is quick to hit that FaceTime and call me. So definitely just one of our recent sessions, what are some things that you miss, and this when we get text messages or face to face, like I miss your hugs, I miss your pizza parties. Now, one thing we do have a lot here at Wade Park, we do whole lot of pizza parties, and we do a whole lot of celebration for students. So definitely making sure that leaders are keeping in focus what's priority and what is what students actually care about. Yes, academics is extremely important. It's very important that students get the skills and the standards so that they can excel, that they can achieve everything that we have set forth for them. But when you really take the time to build those relationships with students, to connect with students and drill down to really what's important to them, definitely for a second grader, this definitely does hit home, and it definitely does speak to just the work that we continue to do here at Wade Park. These are all of the different things that I wanted to share this morning. Truly appreciate the Learning Council even offering these level of workshops where we are able to discuss and engage. And really, yesterday I was writing things down to steal to take back to my building. So this is everything that we have this morning. Once again, my name is Dr. Lee Buddy from Cleveland, Ohio, the proud principal of Way Park. I know that Leilani has been managing the chat room, so definitely if anyone has any questions or would like me to dig deeper into any of the topics, this would be the time to do so.
Dr. Buddy, amazing work. I'm so proud of you. You really have stepped in there as a leader and really led your school. And I think the emotional support, the focus that you have on the inclusion and making people feel like they're part of something, every child, huge. It's really huge, because if you don't feel like you're part of something, even though you're remote, you don't engage, and then you don't learn. So right. I love this focus. I love all the little parts of it, and I want a cupcake too.
Come on down. We know we got to get you here to Way Park. So as soon as things calm down, I know you're coming to visit.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back for sure. And then, we'll be socially distanced and doing air hugs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, great. It's so good to have you join. I don't see any questions coming in. I don't mean that there might not be some people coming in with questions, but when we air this out nationally, probably a lot of people will comment. We've been getting so many comments. We had 27,000 people respond to the pre-survey for this, and you just talked about one of the top points, and the 85% of schools said motivation is their number one thing right now, and you're nailing it. So I'm super proud of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Deployment, protection, service, end of life. Welcome to Staymobile's best-in-class solutions for educational organizations of all sizes. In order to keep your students connected throughout the pandemic, your district is likely tasked with managing an entire fleet of laptops to support your one-to-one technology requirements. And while your district's technology needs might be growing, it's likely that your support staff is not. That means you're underprepared to get hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of devices from the boxes in which they shipped, configured, and into the hands of your students. That's where we come in. Staymobile provides the services and solutions that remove or minimize almost every hurdle you'll face, and we do so in ways consistent with CDC guidelines in order to keep you, your team, and your students safe. We begin by looking at the entire device timeline, from purchase to deployment to usage to retirement, each and every step of the process. We then create a tailored solution set designed to alleviate every headache you might face along that continuum. First, we unpack your devices and dispose of the mountain of packaging refuse in green-friendly ways. We then boot up the device, install and configure the software to your specifications, and enroll it into your system. We then apply asset tags, install the high-quality protective case, and deliver it to your location fully charged and in slotted boxes. Next, we offer damage protection, extended OEM service, and a battery and power replacement program with Staymobile Protect, our industry-leading protection and service program, available with and without a protective case. We also provide standalone service solutions that repair, refresh, or facilitate the OEM warranty of your devices. And here's where we get to show off our national service network. Depending upon your location, we can organize pickup and drop-off services or prepaid shipping to and from one of our growing number of Staymobile technology centers. Finally, we can either establish a buyback program that turns your obsolete devices into cash, or we can recycle them for you. And all of these solutions can be configured to meet your specific needs. This approach allows you to effectively and efficiently outsource your device management needs to Staymobile, empowering you to reach and exceed your technology goals in measurable, manageable ways. For more information, please contact your regional Staymobile sales rep, Sean Murphy, at sean.sales@staymobile.com, 800-683-6467. Staymobile, your devices, our solutions.